Now they say that one man's junk is another man's treasure, and in the case of this old Antec pre-built I purchased on eBay, I'd say that's completely true. I originally brought this system for the motherboard and took a gamble, but when it turned up, my little budget gaming radar lit up like Christmas, and hey, here we are. I hope you enjoy the video. My name's Andy, and this is Andy's Tech, and yes, I've been let loose on eBay again, and I've brought another pre-built system. Now originally I purchased this system for the motherboard, as it's a 7th gen Intel system. The whole system complete cost me £25. Now before we get into the specs and stuff like that and what came inside the case, I was actually pleasantly surprised, and I took a bit of a gamble when purchasing this, as the description was pretty vague and there was only one picture of the front of the case, but when it turned up I was really pleasantly surprised, and it was actually a full complete system with a dedicated graphics card, just minus the storage. Now for the £25 I purchased this system for, I was pretty impressed, to be honest, so I thought I would share my findings with you today, and we'll maybe try and run a few games on it and see how we go. So now if we take the side panel off, in true Andy's Tech fashion, we can see that the system is very dirty, dusty and grimy. I don't think it's ever been cleaned. If we take a look at the stock cooler, it's totally clogged with dust. But you don't come this far in the game without seeing the bigger picture, and what we have here is a really nice starting point for a budget gaming PC. Under that Intel stock cooler, we have the infamous i3-7100. No, not really. It's sporting 2 cores and 4 threads running at 3.9 GHz. It was the last 2-core i3 Intel made, and it's not really up to much in 2024. The motherboard I brought the system for is an Asus H110M-A/M.2. It's a basic board, but it does have NVMe support, which is a nice touch for a budget board like this. This means we can add a cheap AliExpress drive later down the line, and being on the 6th and 7th gen Intel platform, we can swap the little i3 out for an i7-6700 or even an i7-7700, if I can afford one, that is. There's an 8GB stick of DDR4 2400. Now I bet you're all dying to find out what GPU we have, right? And in a bit of a wet fart climax, yes, we have a GT610. Okay, so it's not a great GPU, but it was a free bonus, as I didn't know it would be included in the system. It's the 1GB DDR3 model, and yeah, it will still be interesting to see what it can do, if anything. Now powering our little system, we have a Be Quiet System Power 8 400 watt dual rail PSU, which was a very nice welcome and is probably worth more than the whole PC, to be honest. There's also a window license key on the side of the case, which is nice to see, as that's £5 I don't have to spend. Another win. Now the best thing now is to give it a blast with the faithful PC vac and clean all that dirt and dust out, and then we can get it inside and see what she can do. Worth mentioning quickly, and if you buy a system like this, just make sure there isn't any loose screws rattling about at the bottom of the case, as you don't want to fry your new PC before you've even begun. So we've got the system back in now, and it cleaned up really nicely. As much as I like the modern ARGB cases, there's something quite cool about the understating simplicity and looks of this case. I've given it a quick tidy and cable manage as well, but it was generally a well put together little PC. I've removed the lower drive cage now, so we have room for a full size GPU if needed. Watch this space. And I fitted my cheap £20 512GB M.2 Gen 3 NVMe drive to test the system today. Airflow is okay at the front of the case, and there is room as well for an extra 120mm fan, just to help pull a little more air into the system. I may also add this at a later date. But if we jump into Windows now, and the general usability of the system is completely fine. We've got a nice live wallpaper background running, and I've just pulled up the specs quick of our little i3-7100, 2 cores, 4 threads, running at 3.9 gigahertz. It's a Kirby Lake CPU on the 14 nanometer process. And we've got our GT 610 as well in all its glory. It's a 64-bit card bus, DDR3, 1 gigabyte. It's PCIe X16 Gen 2, and it's running the latest drivers we have for it, which are March the 23rd, 2018. And yeah, that's about it for that card. There's not much else to say, really. It's a GT 610. Things like browsing the web, stuff like that, eBay, all runs completely fine. You know, all the assets are preloaded, and it's quite happy to navigate through a few tabs, Amazon, etc. like that. There's just the tech power up page of our little GT 610. Yeah, 640 by 480. YouTube as well is completely fine. We can do 1080p playback, no problem. We'll just go to the channel page and play the latest video. Again, it's all preloaded it fine. We'll just skip through this advert. And yeah, you know, we can play 1080p. I don't have a 4K monitor, so I can't test 4K for you, but again, it skips through the video quite fine. There's no stutter or delay or anything like that. One thing I was interested in actually is I quite think that the onboard HD 630 graphics are actually better than the GT 610, so we'll pull up MSI Afterburner and Heaven now. And we did manage an overclock on our little 610. I managed just to max the sliders out, and the card seems completely stable. But even at that, running by 800 by 600, we got 32.6 FPS, which isn't great really, you know. And like if I pull up the HD 630 graphics now, they're actually quite a bit more powerful. I didn't really realise this. I thought they were just naff, to be honest. And we got into our 50s, but I am going to be running the GT 610 today because we want to be running the system with the dedicated graphics, and I want to be using that full 8 gigabytes of RAM rather than sacrificing like 2 of it for the onboard graphics. So I think it's time to test some games and bring the pain with our system in its current state. So yeah, enjoy the benchmarks. So Fortnite up first, and this is probably going to be the hardest game to run that we're going to test today, and it's 720p low on performance mode settings with 20% resolution scale. Now I haven't done the maths on that, but it's pretty low. I think it's like 2 something p, maybe even less. And yeah, our little 610 struggling. Not only does it look like an absolute pixel, we'll just kill this mutant Ninja Turtle guy with our sword. There we go, so we've got 1 kill in. Yeah, not only does it look like an absolutely pixelated mess, sadly it was still not enough to achieve a 30 FPS average, which I guess would be the bare minimum playable. Oh, we've just topped 33. But yeah, really you can't play the game like this. You'll end up with square eyes. So Fortnite, bit of an epic fail. Oh, we've got some guys here in the distance. Let's just see if we can kill these. See if we can do a long shot. Come on. Yes, long shot. There you go, we've got a kill. So you can get kills, but yeah, it's not really advisable to be playing Fortnite like this. But we gave it a shot, and we'll move on to something hopefully a little less demanding to run, and that is CS2. Which, as you probably guessed, is more demanding to run than Fortnite. Now, I've not really played the new CS2, and I assumed it wasn't much different from the old CSGO, but yeah, 720p, everything turned to low. We even got FSR turned on performance mode, and yeah, I mean, it started and ran the game, so I'm quite impressed with that, to be fair. But yeah, we're getting an average of 9 FPS. I mean, the input lag is just horrendous between moving the mouse and getting a kill. I mean, it's totally unplayable, but we gave it a go. I can't really turn things down any lower. They're kind of as low as they can go. I'm sure the little onboard HD 630 graphics might do a better job. We might get closer to 30 with that. Maybe 20, I don't know. But there you go, CS2, not really playable, not advisable. So let's try something that I hope it can play, and I'm sure it will do, and that is Valorant. And well, wouldn't you know, it's actually playable. We're running at 1080p here with everything set to low and bloom enabled, but we have a plus 60 FPS average. We're averaging about 80 at the moment. We've just started the match, but I've played a couple before this. 1% and 0.1% lows are as well okay, to be fair. I mean, most people are running around Valorant with like 200-300 FPS, so it's not easy to, it's not hard to achieve in this game, I should say. But I would count this as a pass. I mean, we can certainly play the game like this casually. We can have a bit of fun online, and we can get a few kills. I'm in no way a competitive Valorant player, and yeah, I'm just getting annihilated here really. But yeah, definitely a pass here for our little 610, and I think that will bring us to the end of the video. Now, I in no way purchased this PC today to show you its gaming prowess, and I certainly would never recommend you buy a GT 610 for gaming, but it was nice to have a look and see what this system can do in its current form. Now, what I am going to do with this system is turn it into a budget gaming PC with a small budget. I think £150 will sort of take it up to the £200 PC level, and yeah, I'll do another video on that for you guys and show you how it goes and what the final product is. Now, it always pays to shop around for like budget low end systems. I try to avoid like the Dells and the HP and Lenovo's, which you can pick up for around the same price. Like, you buy a system like this, it's a full custom system, you know, you can case swap it, you've got all non-proprietary components. Like, we've got a very nice PSU, a decent usable motherboard on a platform that's okay for the budget end of things. We've got DDR4 RAM, 8GB. You know, we can take this out of a case, we can swap, we can change bits, and yeah, I just, you know, that's what I love doing. We're very limited when you go for like, you know, the OEM systems. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching the video. Hope you've had fun. I've had fun making this. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already to see more content like this. I did purchase a similar cheap PC a couple of weeks back for the trade up challenge, so if you haven't seen that video already, there's a link in the description or above now somewhere. But thank you for watching. Take care, God bless, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.